another Australian legend, the one and only epic music journalist, pioneering music journalist, Ed Nimmervoll. Please pay attention to the gargantuan video screen for a tribute.
Demanding no funeral when he passed away on October 10th this year at 67, after a fierce everything battle with cancer, he could also be exacted. In fact, I can imagine him poised above us now smiling, red pencil in hand.
First off, I'd like to send my condolences to the Nimmervoll family. Ed and Christian White, among others, helped to promote and champion Australian and New Zealand acts for many years. He was always someone you could have a healthy and friendly argument over different aspects of music. And most importantly, he always went to gigs. People like Ed will always be missed when it's their time to go. And I can hear his husky voice as I was writing this. Yeah, we're arguing. God bless all his family.
Born on the 21st of September 1947 in a small village in Austria, he began life as Edward Harold Nimmervoll. Ed excelled at English and was a fanatical numbers man. He studied architecture for a while, but his true love was music. In a great lineage with the Age Music Victoria Hall of Fame Awards, Ed was the founding editor of Duke, a successful weekly music mag which was bought by Fairfax and run out of the Age building. Ed also created Australia's first national top 40 chart at the hit youth run paper Go Set. When Go Set started in February 1966, the mag was an Ed essential. But he considered the top 40 charts inadequate and surreptitiously wrote a letter to Go Set insisting that he could do better. Ed compiled Go Set's top 40 singles charts from October 1966 and album charts from 1970, sourcing information from radio stations all around Australia. Ed soon wrote record reviews and features for Go Set too, alongside Ian Molly Meldrum's columns. In the crippling 1970 record ban, when the major record companies fought commercial radio because they thought they should pay the piper, Ed stood up for local artists and gigs who were hammered by the 6-month airplay ban, stirring debate with his fellow Go Set writer and idol DJ Stan Rowe. Ed became Go Set editor in 1973, but the paper folded after a corporate takeover. Undeterred, Ed started Duke in Melbourne until 1992.
To Jan and the kids, I'm so pleased to hear that the late and great Ed Nimmervoll has been inducted to the Age Hall of Fame. The Beatles turned me on to music. Ed Nimmervoll was one of the first journalists I knew when he was at Go Set magazine, the editor of Duke. I always loved his passion, his truth, and he helped so many of our artists in media training, and his support for Australian music was unprecedented. Well done, well deserved, and we miss you, Ed.
Ed's song lyrics included Red-Headed Wildflower, written with B. Burbles after the death of Go Set's editorial assistant Glennis Long, for the Little River Band's 1978 album Sleeper Catcher, and Eureka on Russell Morris's outstanding Van Diemen's Land album in 2014. Freelancing led to the creation of Take 40 Australia, and 13 years with radio and TV syndicators MCN, making shows and interviewing all the big acts.
I'm delighted that Ed's being inducted into the Age Music Victoria Hall of Fame. It's probably true to say that Spectrum and Ariel wouldn't have achieved the profile they did without Ed gallantly proffering our stuff to the world. Good on you, Ed. I think it's a good thing that the people behind the scenes every now are given the credit they deserve. I loved you, Ed.
Ed edited Aussie music website Housepace from 2000, and his music books were legion. Renee Gay's co-write Confessions of a Difficult Woman was a favourite, as was 2004's Friday on My Mind, a year-by-year account of popular music in the Australian charts.
I would like to congratulate Torie Nimmervoll from one Hall of Fame inductee to another. Torie Nimmervoll, yeah, one of the best music writers I've ever come across, and not many say that's my experience attached to. You'll be greatly missed. I know you're somewhere in heaven, hopefully looking down and say anything properly.
Ed met his wife Jan at a Daddy Cool concert. It was a cool marriage. What would you expect with a girl who'd worked at the great gig Sebastian? It lasted, and Jan nursed him at home through all the tough times. They had 3 kids, Simon, and then the twins Torie and Amber. Ed Nimmervoll, like Elvis, also had a twin brother who died at birth. Ed spoke up for Australian music throughout his life, and the lucky stars he interviewed know he was a hell of a listener.
To officially induct worthy recipient into the Age Music Victoria Awards Hall of Fame is his dear friend, Russell Morris.
As you see, he was quite an exceptionally made a lot of achievements, wonderful achievements in the music business. And the music business being full of puffed up egos and people with delicate sort of constitutions, he was just a revelation. Like, first time I met him, I was really nervous. He was one of those guys who wielded a lot of power, but he never wielded it. It was just the way he was. People loved him. He was honest, which was the most incredible thing about him. And I came from a real sort of pop star sort of thing, you know, and he was sort of left of centre, and I thought, oh, he's going to hate me, he's going to hate me. He was always straight up with you. He don't like the album. You would say, oh, what do you mean you don't like the album? And he wouldn't hold it against you if you gave him a hard time. Other reviewers would give you, like, wouldn't talk to you again. He became my friend, and we were friends for years, and even getting him to write a song on Van Diemen's Land, he was so self-effacing. He was just the most modest guy. I said, Ed, let's write a song. Yeah, I will. Ring him up 2 weeks later. Where's that song, Ed? I'm getting to it. 3 weeks. Finally, I had to threaten him, get the song finished. He did it, and he was delighted with the outcome of it, and so was I. And it was just a wonderful thing for him and I, and to get together and do the song and write it. And that was a song called Eureka, and was something he was very passionate about. He was passionate about Australians, he was passionate about Australian music, and it showed in everything he did, because he did it with love, he did it from his heart, and we who knew him, love him very much, and will miss him very much. And I'd like to induct him into the Age Hall of Fame, and I'd like to invite Torie out, his beautiful daughter, and give her the award. Where is it, Henry?
To accept the award is Ed Nimmervoll's daughter, Torie.
Torie, great pleasure. And Ed knew that he was getting this award, by the way, which is absolutely beautiful.
I know your friendship and collaboration meant a lot to Dad. On behalf of the Nimmervoll family, I would also like to thank Joe Newton, Patrick Donovan and Music Victoria. Dad was very humbled to know he was receiving this award. When I turned 18, or maybe a little bit before that, I had the privilege of being Dad's +1 to gigs. I was very lucky. A routine was in place. We would always arrive early to catch the support act, out of respect. But also the potential of seeing something new, fresh, unexpected and exciting. For Dad, it was just as important as seeing the headliner. In December 2012, Dad wrote, "I started out as a music fan in my teens, in the mid-60s. I still approach music like a teenager with a sense of adventure. I can't wait for what I'm going to hear next. I didn't plan to make a living doing this, but I have. I find myself positioned between the music makers and those who they make the music for. And it's a privilege." Thank you.
A massive thank you to Torie and the Nimmervoll family. Ladies and gentlemen,